Hello, this is Andy from the SmackDown Hotel, and I'm joined here by Johnny Wrestling himself, Johnny Gargano. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks, man. Thanks for asking. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
No, man. Anytime.
So, first of all, I would like to begin the interview by reiterating that you did nothing wrong. I would like to point that out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I agree with you. Obviously.
Great. So we are here talking about the launch of Season 5 of WWE SuperCard. The fact that you've been chosen as an ambassador for it tells me you must be a fan of the game, right?
Yes, I'm a big fan of the game.
Cool. So you're excited for Season 5?
I'm very excited. I'm excited for Season 5, and I'm excited to be the Superstar Ambassador for Season 5. I mean, I think the coolest thing about all this is because I am a fan of the game, to be able to put my name on it and do what I can to help spread the word and kind of let people, I know 18 million people have already downloaded the game, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But if I can help 18 million more people download the game, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know you're a big gamer, so how does it feel to see yourself in WWE Games? I imagine you must be stoked.
Yeah, it's never something that I'm like, oh, I'm in another game, wow. It's always mind-blowing to me, just because I am such a gamer, and I grew up on wrestling video games. I grew up trying to create myself in wrestling video games, and I always did a horrible job of doing so. So now to be able to, like, pop into WWE 2K19 and to see basically me, like, it's me. Like, I showed someone a video of my entrance in the game, and they thought it was a real video. They thought it was just my entrance. They're like, oh, wow, why are you showing your entrance? I'm like, this isn't my entrance. This is the game. They're like, whoa, that looks exactly like you. And I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. The stuff they've been able to do with the graphics is mind-blowing. But yeah, to see myself in video games, to see myself in WWE SuperCard, which I haven't pulled my card yet, believe it or not. I haven't gotten one of my own cards in WWE SuperCard yet. I'm waiting for that day. And I don't want to just be given one. I want to earn one. So I want to, like, actually pull one and be like, oh, it's me, sweet. So it's never old, and it's always something that's amazing.
Yeah, I was about to ask about the cards. We looked at our cards catalog, and we've noticed that Season 4 cards for Tommaso Ciampa are rated higher and stronger than Johnny Gargano's cards. How do you feel about that? Are you making sure that's not the case in Season 5?
Yeah, we gotta fix that. Yeah, I'm gonna meet with the 2K people. I'm going to meet with the 2K people and at least lower his toughness down or something.
Yeah.
And you bump my toughness. Have you seen the matches we've had? Like, geez, like I'm way tougher than he is.
Right.
Yeah, bump his stats all the way down, bump mine up. I think like I might be able to, I'm the Season 5 ambassador. So Season 5, like my card should be just through the roof.
No, by default.
Tommaso Ciampa down the drain.
Yeah, and you mentioned that graphics nowadays in WWE games are insane, and another cool thing nowadays is that they have such a diverse roster that you can pretty much mix and match any era of wrestling or face any legend to create truly unique matchups. So what will be your top dream opponent that you put yourself against in WWE 2K19?
So the first time I actually played 2K19, they were doing a media event at the Performance Center. And it was like 8 a.m. and I walked in and they had the game set up and I was like, hey, can I play a game really quick? Because I haven't seen my character yet. And they was, yeah, of course. So they set me up. And the first game I played right off the rip was Johnny Gargano versus 1996 Shawn Michaels. So that was my first game in WWE 2K19. Of course I lost because he's 1996 Shawn Michaels and he's unstoppable.
Right.
But yeah, I hit him with like a million spears and just sweet chin music took me down. So yeah, Johnny Gargano versus 1996 Shawn Michaels was the first game I actually played. And that'll forever be my ultimate dream match.
Awesome.
If we get a time machine, I guess.
Yeah. So speaking of Tommaso Ciampa, if we can talk a bit about what you've been doing now in NXT. You've been one of the main faces, if not the face of NXT for a long time now. But recently we're seeing your character going through some changes. This rivalry with Tommaso is driving you to places we haven't seen you before. So how do you feel about the situation?
I'm just continuing to be myself. The way I see things is nothing about me has changed. The only thing about me that's changed is maybe the chains are off a bit. In my head, I don't know why it's okay for a guy like Aleister Black to run around, or Tommaso Ciampa for that matter, and run around and do whatever they want in NXT. They beat up security guards. They threaten General Manager Regal. They just kind of go around and beat up whoever they want, but it's okay for them to do that because Aleister is an anti-hero. It's okay to do that because Tommaso is a bad guy. Like, why is it not okay for Johnny Wrestling to go out there and do what he has to do to get the job done? Like, in my head, like, my goal at the end of all of this is to beat Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. That's between me and Tommaso.
Yeah.
Aleister Black, unfortunately, just got in the way.
Yeah.
So I had to take Aleister Black out of the equation. Did I do something wrong? Did I do something that some people may consider not Johnny Wrestling like? Yes. But why am I held to a different standard? I am still Johnny Gargano, and I will always be myself.
Right. So one thing that I meant to ask you is, when you cost Aleister Black the NXT title, allowing Tommaso Ciampa to become champion, was that completely accidental, or maybe a part of you wanted Ciampa to win so you could have the pleasure to take the title from him?
As far as that goes, that was completely accidental. That was a mistake I made. I totally admitted that. In my mind, I love NXT,
Okay.
and the worst thing for NXT is Tommaso Ciampa being the NXT champion.
Right.
I created that monster. I basically gave him the NXT championship. I never wanted that to happen. That was a mistake. That was a mistake I owned up to. The thing is, that was my mistake to fix. So that's why I did what I had to do, because I need to fix that mistake. I made a promise to the NXT universe. I made a promise to you guys, and I'm going to fix it one day.
Cool. So this Saturday you'll be facing Aleister Black at NXT TakeOver War Games. Do you look forward to facing him? Do you have a game plan for the match?
I do. I do have a game plan for the match. In my head, Aleister Black thrives on intimidation. He thrives on being a bully, basically. He uses the darkness, he uses candles, he uses all these fancy tricks to intimidate his opponent, to be afraid of Aleister Black. Like I said, I'm not afraid of Aleister Black. If anything, I'm in Aleister Black's head. In my mind, and what I know is, Aleister Black's mystique died in the parking lot. Because in my head, he's just a guy.
He's just a guy, yeah.
He's just a normal man. There's nothing. I'm not going to say Aleister Black is an amazing competitor. He's a former NXT champion. He's great. But all of this mystique, all of this, this fancy entrance, all of this, whatever the heck it is, this darkness.
Yeah, it doesn't affect.
It's all fake. It's a fraud. And at TakeOver War Games, I exposed that.
Right. So from a technical standpoint, you must be looking forward to the match, though, right?
Yes, I am. I'm very much looking forward to the match because I love TakeOver. I mean, that's no mistake. I've been synonymous with TakeOver. This will actually be my 11th TakeOver match, which is the most in NXT history. So I'm the man with the most NXT TakeOver matches. And TakeOver, in my mind, TakeOver is always the best show of the year, no matter what TakeOver it is. It always feels like it tops itself. So I think this Saturday is going to be no different.
Yeah, you'll be stringing a series of 5-star matches, so maybe you can add another one to your collection. So after that, what's next for Johnny Gargano? I mean, after Aleister Black, do you set your sights back to Tommaso Ciampa and the NXT title, or do you move on to something else?
My goal is always going to be the NXT Championship. That's something I haven't achieved yet. And so that will always be the end game for me. Because for me, being the NXT champion means you're the face of the company.
Yeah.
And I love NXT. I know people always ask me all the time, like, when are you moving on? When you moving up? Like, I don't feel there is a moving up. In my head, there is no moving up. In my head, there is only right now. And right now, NXT is the hottest thing in professional wrestling. And my goal is to take NXT to heights it's never been before. And I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make that happen. So obviously my obvious goal is to be the NXT champion.
Right, and I wish for you to achieve that as soon as possible, since you're probably one of the few top guys left from NXT that hasn't achieved that yet. So hopefully that happens soon.
Thank you, man. I hope so.
So say you win the NXT title, what will be the next milestone for you? Like, what will be your big next dream for you to accomplish in WWE?
Next dream in WWE in general. I mean, we grow up and we all watch WrestleMania. Yeah. That's always like, if you always want to make it to WrestleMania, that's kind of our Super Bowl. So obviously I'd love to wrestle at a WrestleMania. So I'll probably say that one. Like, I think for me and a lot of guys too, like, I think like WrestleMania is the ultimate dream. So I think like WrestleMania, whatever that is.
Maybe a final showdown between you and Tommaso at WrestleMania. How great will that be?
Maybe. You never know. You never know what could happen. Anything can happen. That's the beautiful thing about what we do, is you never know what could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So changing subject to something that I've been wondering about. With me being from Italy, your last name sounds familiar. Do you have any Italian origins by any chance?
I do. My dad's side of the family is actually from Italy.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I am Italian. I've never been to Italy, which sucks. I'd love to go there one day. But yes, there is actually a town in Italy called Gargano. So,
yeah.
Like my family is actually from Italy.
Wow.
I've never been there, but like hopefully one day I can make the trip over.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure you will get the chance with a future WWE tour.
Yeah, but I'd love to.
Great. Johnny, it has been a pleasure to speak with you. Do you have any last word for WWE SuperCard fans or WWE Games fans in general?
Yep. Guys, like, I'm super pumped to be the Season 5 ambassador of WWE SuperCard. It's a game I'm very excited about, a game I'm very passionate about, a game I play myself. So I can't wait for you guys to see what they have in store for you for Season 5. And to give you a little hint, there is a new event happening in December. That's all the little tidbit I'm going to give you right now. But yes, there is a new event happening in December. Nice. There are new cards debuting in Season 5. I have been told that we talked about NXT, that EC3, Ricochet, and Candice LeRae will making her Season 5 WWE SuperCard debut. Wow, nice. So I'm excited to see those cards. I'm excited for you guys to play the game and to keep playing the game. And yeah, I'll be your Season 5 ambassador, and I will do my best to keep you informed and get the good word out.
Great. Hopefully you don't have to face Candice in the game.
I hope not. She'll probably beat me up. Her toughness is probably way higher than mine.
Well, awesome, man. Thank you again for the time, and it's been a pleasure, and best of luck this Saturday against Aleister Black.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure.